Did you mention the scaffolding here about,
Well,
we're gonna
it
have an
seems
inauguration.
It seems
Pardon?
early for that inauguration.
The inauguration is the middle of January,
Right.
and we'll inaugurate we only have three statewide offices. Some states might have 20 or 15, we have three. Governor, Lieutenant Governor, and Attorney General. They open this door here that says fire exit only, and they go out on the portico of the Capitol, and the inauguration is right out here.
I was surprised they'd start those risers this early. I mean, it's just midday.
Well, if you have bad weather, you can't set up anything, and this is time for bad weather, so they want to be ahead of that in case it comes.
Mhm.
One inauguration, I forget who it was, some 30 years ago, tremendous snowstorm. They still had the inauguration
Mhm.
on schedule. On the back wall, we have three ships landing 104 men and boys, no women, no children. 104 men and boys, 1607. They're here to find gold, silver, jewels. They were told, come over here, the land just abounds with gold, silver, jewels. Fill up your pockets, you're wealthy in no time. It was a big fib. It was falsehood, a lie. They found hardship, tough times. More people started to come, upwards 300 or 400. Then they had a drought, 1610, a drought, 1608. No food to be had. Even the local Indians, the indigenous people we call Indians, had no food. They're suffering from the same drought. They died down to 60-some people, even though 300 or 400 people had come. They said, we're leaving. It's a bad deal, we're going back to England, give up. The rescue ships came at the right time, we're bringing more people, more provisions. We're not going to leave, we're going to make Virginia the first permanent English settlement in the New World. So we started to thrive with it. 1619, three important things happened. We had an election, the first election of our burgesses, we called them. The first election in Virginia ever held by the English settlers. We date our General Assembly, and they'll be meeting, our legislature, they'll be meeting come January. We date them back to the meeting, the election, 1619. African people came, 1619, about 20 or so. Some historians say they were slaves. Some historians say they were indentured servants. Indentured servants would serve so many years, they'd gain their freedom. Slaves would be forever. The people that say they were probably indentured servants say there were no laws, which is true, no regulations about slavery in 1619 in Virginia. So read a history book, one would say one thing, read another history book, say another thing, make up your own mind. The other thing happened, unmarried women came. They had families with mothers, wives before. This was unmarried women. You had all these bachelor farmers looking for a wife. Just a few unmarried women came at first. They had their choice of whoever they would marry. All these men were desperate for a wife. The women could choose and pick and choose whoever they wanted. So we kept our capital, Jamestown, to 1699. They said the water is awful, the mosquitoes are worse, move it to Williamsburg. So Williamsburg was our capital. Then a big war started. War started up in Massachusetts between the British soldiers that were stationed there to control Boston. They had closed the port. The British had closed the port of Boston. Of course, the port was important to the whole livelihood of the people up there. They had a war, Lexington, Concord, 1775. People here in Virginia said, the war will not stay up there, it will continue and come on down here eventually. And as predicted, the war came down here. We moved the capital here to Richmond. It's a better place to defend, we thought, against the enemy, the British. move it up from Williamsburg. So the Capitol is here, not yet this building, just old wooden buildings. Here is the war coming to Virginia. Yorktown, 1781. Cornwallis, the British general, has taken 8,000 British troops into North Carolina, battle after battle. Lafayette has a couple of thousand troops, not enough to attack Cornwallis, but he leads them on a chase around Virginia. And Lafayette is on our side with the troops that he has. So Cornwallis goes to Yorktown. Yorktown is a port city near Williamsburg.
If I can interject,
Yes.
Williamsburg is close to the ocean, so it's east of here. And Jamestown and everything is east
Very
of
close. Right. So Cornwallis takes his 8,000 British troops to Yorktown, sends word up to the British fleet up in New York City, come and rescue my men and me. We're running low on food, running low on ammunition. Please rescue us. The French fleet comes up from the Indies in time to intercept the British fleet. The French fleet are on our side, so no rescue possible. Cornwallis has to surrender. The painting was made about 60 years after the event, but he got it right. He has little ships on the far right, see way on the right, see the sails, see French fleet intercepting the British fleet, no rescue possible. Here's Cornwallis. Larger figure right here is Cornwallis, the losing general.
He was English, he was against us.
The British flag is being struck, the American flag is ready to go up. And a painting like this has to show not just the losing general, it has to show the winning general. Look on the right, there's a soldier holding his musket vertically. There's a bayonet on top of the musket. Below the musket, about 2 inches, an inch to the left. What do you have? Metrics, about 4 centimeters?
They do feed.
About 4 centimeters down a little bit to the left, a little white speck. There's a white speck. You almost need a telescope to see it. You gotta believe me, it's a white horse. A white horse. On the white horse, you gotta believe me, is a winning general at Yorktown, George Washington.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
You almost need a telescope.
That's wonderful.
So let's go see Thomas Jefferson.
Wonderful imagery.